and stupid and such a waste. And it was like, and I lived all that to end up here. What, what a stupid, sorry, pathetic little life I had.
Yeah, the trouble is you're describing a great number of us out here.
Yeah. And it just seems so pointless and empty and worthless. And I also was thinking about the situation that I was in, and that there was no way out of it for me, except that I knew that those people were going to come back. And I really didn't want to be the victim of their sadism anymore. And so I thought if there was some way that I could get up my strength, if they came back, I would be as vicious and as cruel
as they were.
And instead of being the victim, I would become a victimizer. In other words, I would become one of them. Hey, if you can't fight it, join it.
Yeah. Let's find somebody else and kick them around.
Yeah. And that wasn't very pleasing to me either, because I really didn't want to be part of their world and their life, which was just sort of gnawing, and seeking sensation.
May I ask another question?
Yeah.
If you found yourself in this situation, one obvious conclusion you would come to is that you were dead, or that, obviously you were no longer in the world that you had known,
yeah.
So you would have to at least intellectually consider the fact that you had died. Did that ever occur to you in the whole time?
Well, the thing that was strange was, since I didn't believe that there was life after death, I knew that I was alive, but I knew that I wasn't in the world. And so I thought it was like somehow I had left the world, and I would never be a part of the world again. One of the most painful things in this whole experience was the realization I was never going to see my wife, my kids, my parents, my dog.
But that's another way of saying that you realized that you were off Earth, and, short of a shuttle trip or
yeah.
whatever,
yeah.
There's no other way to get off Earth, alive anyway.
Yeah. So, but the word dead didn't really occur to me because I was alive.
Because you felt so alive, because
yeah.
you had such a physical presence, and you could feel all these injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, that makes sense.
And the saddest conclusion of all that I came to was that somehow I belonged in this place. That I hated the place, and I didn't want to be there, but I knew that I had a certain kind of affinity for the people who had attacked me, and my sense was that they were people who had lived life like I had lived it. Basically, people who had lived for their own gratification. And now I was with them, except that there was nothing good anymore, just emptiness and darkness and hopelessness. So the only gratification left was just sort of chewing on each other.
Brother.
And my sense was that not only would this go on forever and ever, but that it was going to get worse. I didn't know how it would be worse, but
chewing on each other, that's almost a metaphor for what a lot of people do in life, chew on each other.
Yeah.
But, is that really I guess, in your case, it's a ticket to hell, but it doesn't seem like it's deserved. I certainly don't know God as you know God, Reverend, but it seems to me that a man who supported his family and was basically good, maybe took a drink, did a little running around, that just doesn't seem like it ought to get you a ticket down there.
Well, what I learned later in this experience is that if we have love in us, and I'm not just talking about self-love, but real love for other people,
right?
And give ourselves to other people, that draws us to God. But if the only thing we care about is ourselves...
But you were a family man. You loved your wife, I presume, your children.
Yeah, but...
You said you missed them.
Yeah, but the the sad thing is, and I'm ashamed of this, and not proud of it, is that like I thought of my wife and my kids as like extensions of my ego. You know, my kids were beautifully behaved in public, like in restaurants,
Right.
because I didn't want them to make me look bad. You know what I mean? And so
Sure.
when my kids did well, it was because they made me look good, and I was glad for that. And if they got out of line, you know, I came down on it really hard.
So you're saying it was you were leading an egocentric life.
Right. Totally self-centered.
Huh.
You know, everything was about me. And what I'd learned, you know, as an artist, was I thought that was the way to be. That's, you know, all the great artists are big egomaniacs. You know, nobody ever heard of an artist that, you know, cared about anything but.
You know, sometimes half kind of crazed.
Yeah.
That's the life they lead. So yes.
And so I just thought that was, you know, growing up, I more and more sort of bought into that idea of like, you know, the world revolves around me and I'm the measure of everything. You know, if you get in my way, I go over you. You know.
Yes, I'm familiar with the philosophy. Believe me.
Yeah.
I, for example, I have the philosophy that I live and let live. I really feel that, and I don't ever go intentionally after other people. But if they come after me, I have no hesitation whatsoever in taking the war to them. If you follow me,
Uh-huh.
and I guess you do, because that's the way you were too.
Yeah. But there's a whole other world out there where that type of person goes. But all the good things that we enjoy in this world aren't there, because I didn't realize it. But they're all gifts.
Huh. All right, we are at a break point, Reverend, and it's just as well, because I need a break for a second listening to this. And I suspect a lot of people out there do too, as you reflect on what he just said about who he was and who we all are. I'm Art Bell. This is Coast to Coast AM.